In this world of darkness populated by untold horrors, 4 idiots, united by fate and held together through disliking one another slightly less than everyone else they meet, might just save us all. Largely by accident. Welcome to This Bloody Mess, the increasingly poor decisions of 4 vampires. In the last episode, big crates plus museum equals big score.
Let's do this.
He pushes down really hard, and the wood splinters and just gashes open his hand.
No.
Inside is a brilliantly inlaid stone coffin, and inside the coffin is what appears to be the desiccated, mummified corpse of a woman.
Oh. Yeah.
Some of the blood has seeped into the coffin.
I'm gonna, peek around the corner and see what the fuck happened.
The guard is lying on the floor in a slowly expanding pool of his own blood. The woman from a moment ago is standing there. She opens her mouth and you see 2 elongated, viciously sharp canines come out. And you see a couple of what look like police officers rush in, and that's about the last thing you remember.
Oh. Okay.
And now the story continues. So now you wake. You wake in an unfamiliar place. It's very confined. You're naked except for what appears to be a simple white bedsheet. And you're not really sure where you are.
Okay. What's the place I'm in look like?
It's hard to see with the darkness, but I'm sure you can manage it. Let me see here. 4 for perception, 3 for awareness. Yeah, you got this. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So on a roll of 7 dice, you got 7 successes.
Oh shit! He sees everything!
You suddenly possess the power of molecular vision, apparently. Okay, that doesn't happen, but you're able to gather a lot of details of this small confined space. There's some kind of weird rolling cart beneath you. The space itself is rectangular. You believe you see faint light coming from the end by your feet.
Okay.
Piecing it together, well, that's really more intelligence, so we're gonna assume you don't do that. But you think you could move out the ends where you see this rectangle of light if you were able to propel yourself somehow.
Tell myself.
Propel yourself.
So I'm restrained?
You are not. You are naked except for a white sheet, but you are not restrained.
So I can move freely?
It's a confined area, but within the confines of that area you can move freely. It's maybe, if you assume you're laying on your back, which you do, you assume maybe 2 or 3 feet wide.
Okay.
Basically, the dimensions of it are almost in tune with the dimensions of your actual body. Like
a coffin?
Almost, yeah. There's a little wiggle room, but it's mostly like a human-sized container.
And then I see edges or light on top and bottom.
You see light coming in from the edges of something by your feet.
Okay. Let's try pushing up.
You push up and hear a sharp metallic clang. Otherwise, it seems ineffective.
I'm going to push above my head to push me down.
All right. You see that the area where you saw this light, a rectangle falls loose, and it appears to just sort of hang beneath you. As this rolling cart you're lying on pushes way out, and you sort of guide it with your hands to move yourself all the way out. And as you stand up, you see that You are in what looks to be a drawer, and all around you are similar drawers.
Okay. Like a morgue.
You think you are, in fact, in a morgue.
Okay.
You appear to be alone, with a single hanging bulb overhead illuminating the room.
Weird. So, I guess thinking back to what happened, do I remember everything that happened before, like with the bite and stuff?
You do remember it, even if you might not remember it terribly vividly for some of those moments.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you remember it about as vividly as I described it, but maybe you don't completely understand it yet.
Right. Well, I guess I might as well close the morgue door that I came out of. Do I have like a little tag on me?
Let's see, yeah. Searching, you find a tag that says John Doe, museum break-in.
Okay. So, okay. Is there, do I have any, like, did I get autopsied? I'm gonna check, like, see if I have any scars on my chest or anything.
No, you don't think they got around to it yet. You don't see any incisions.
So, am I just in a room where they keep all of dead bodies? Is there a bunch of other stuff there? Or?
Yeah, it looks like it's the storage room. There's a table, presumably for whatever operations need to happen.
Right.
But you don't think anything's going on at the moment.
Okay. Is there a door?
There are 2 doors, one to the left and one to the right.
Are there windows on the doors?
Only on the one to the right.
I'm gonna look out that one.
All right. You start to take a peek out the door, and suddenly you hear a voice behind you say, "Really, child? This new funeral arrangement is so curious. What do humans do with all the time saved mourning with these coffin doors?"
What? I turn around in surprise.
The woman is back, looking just as you saw her before. Greetings, young child. Excuse me.
Are you eating? What are you eating?
I am eating nachos.
Oh, I was saying that to the lady.
She is not eating nachos. Greetings, child. It is good to see your safe return, and your intriguingly Roman form of attire.
Did I die?
In a sense, yes.
What did you do to me? I remember you biting me. And then everything went black.
The embrace requires exsanguination.
Embrace? What do you mean embrace?
I just wanted to make you like me.
Did I get raped?
For Christ's sake, Will, you're a vampire now. That's a new voice, by the way.
What?
Turning to the source of this new voice, you see your cousin is standing near one of the drawers.
What are you doing here?
Almost as if she's surprised you're talking, the woman says, "We established that I was here. I came to find you."
No, Morris, what?
How quaint you. I'll leave you to this. You just do what you're doing.
I look at Morris?
He's still there.
Okay. What do you mean I'm a vampire?
Exactly what it sounds like. Drink blood, wear a cape, go bleh, bleh.
Bleh, bleh. You expect me to believe this?
You don't believe your dear old cousin?
No, not at all.
Oh, fine. Guess I won't help you then. And he walks out through a wall.
What the hell? Get back here, Morris.
He sticks his head back through the door and he says, "Oh, so suddenly you're willing to believe the unbelievable."
As I always say, I gotta see with my own eyes first. And you just walked through a wall. You just walked through a wall. I turned to the lady.
She laughs. The young ones with their first delusions are always so nice.
Delusions? What are you talking about, delusions?
I suppose I should introduce myself properly. My name is Margaret, although there are some who would call me by the epithet Mad Maggie. I do not particularly like this turn of phrase.
Okay, Miss Margaret.
Thank you. Although, if you so wish, you may call me Mother.
What? Oh, okay.
I am a vampire of the clan Malkavian, who perhaps have something of a reputation as madmen, but insightful madmen.
Okay. So, let me get this straight. I am a vampire. You're a vampire.
Correct on
And
both counts.
you made me a vampire.
Also correct.
Brings those teeth, but oh man, I'm never gonna be able to eat Italian again.
I'm afraid the garlic stories are not entirely true. However, the eating could prove a problem. Not many of our kind can withstand human food.
But I like food. That's like the only thing that's like, comforting.
You'll have a new sort of food.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to start drinking people's blood now?
Yes, come
That's
now.
my food?
I have taken the liberty of preparing your first meal.
I'm not gonna start twinkling, am I?
Twinkling?
Yeah, sparkling. And then not gonna have to wear a cape. And turn into a bat?
That's really more another clan of vampires entirely.
No, vampires turn into bats?
Different clans, different abilities. I'll teach you to make the best use of yours. But first things first, and she reaches over and she pulls out one of the drawers, and you see what looks like a terrified, bound and gagged orderly, just sort of tied to the drawer, and she says, "Well, you mustn't miss your morning meal. Evening, I suppose." And she takes a little, swab of cloth, and she wraps it around your neck, and she just taps you on the back as if she expects you to eat.
Do I have to eat him? Oh, right, blood. How does this work? Do I just, bite into it?
Just start, and your instincts will carry you through it.
I'm not gonna kill this dude, am I?
I should hope not.
How do I know how much blood I can take without killing him?
You'll have a good feeling of when to stop, but you may not.
Okay, I'm a little scared. I don't want to kill anybody. The last thing I want to do is go to jail for murder. Only a thief.
So you go down, and once you're close to the man's neck, almost instinctively you bite in. And it's incredible, to be honest. The sensation of human blood flowing into your mouth is one of the best things you've ever tasted.
Okay. Alright, that's pretty good.
But with 2 successes on your willpower, or your self-control roll, you're able to pull back after you've taken enough to sustain yourself.
Oh, good.
The terrified, shrieking orderly soothes his way to the ground, sort of staring off into space before ultimately falling asleep. "Ah, how precious," she says. "You fed without killing on your first try. I do wish I could commission a portrait for this."
That was pretty good. So, how often do I have to do this?
Well, you'll need some blood in your system to wake up every night. That's how I found myself in that unfortunate predicament in the... What do you call that building we were in before?
Museum.
Yes, that.
How long were you in there? Or how long were you not functioning?
Oh, it's been so long I don't properly remember. You lose sense of time. But I know that I found myself staked into my resting place, unable to move, on March 9th.
March 9th.
I suppose it may have been a year or two since that happened. It was 1652?
1652. Do you know what year this is?
No.
This is 2016.
She blinks.
You were in there for almost... I'm not good at math. 400 years?
She starts counting on her fingers.
It was like 300 and something. Like 380 years.
She nods gravely and says, "Oh my. The world must have changed quite a bit. And with it, I must see what strange and wondrous things the kindred have invented since this time. I chose you well. You shall be my guide into this new world, and I shall be your guide into the world of vampires."
Kindred?
Another word for vampire.
How many vampires are there?
Well, at least 12.
Well,
However, if I had to guess, probably quite a few more.
how is it that the humans don't know about us?
Well, they used to. I suppose the idea of the masquerade that I heard bandied about a lot in my time quite probably took hold, if you do know what we are.
Okay. So I take it, well, first off, let's get out of here before we freak some more people. Is he going to remember us? I point to the orderly.
Oh, that is a good point. And she snaps him awake. She sort of waves in his face, meets his gaze, and then says, "Forget." You see his eyes widen and then glaze over, and he just sort of slumps back. And then she turns to you and she says, "Taken care of."
Well, we should probably take him out of this so he doesn't wake up all confused.
Oh, nonsense. Confusion is just how I like to leave people.
Isn't that bad for the masquerade thing?
Pish tosh.
Whatever. Your mother knows best, as they always say.
Now then, she points at the towel or the sheet that you're wearing and says, "Will you be going outside like that?"
No, where did they put my stuff?
I'm afraid I don't know at the moment. But since I knew that I was going to be waking a child tonight, I took the liberty of, while you were sleeping, gathering a few clothes myself.
Wait,
She hands you what looks like some sort of suit.
suit?
Yes,
What kind of suit? Like a business suit?
almost. It has a bow tie instead of a tie, and the pants are shorts, but other than that, it looks sort of like a business suit.
God damn it.
Thanks for tuning in to This Bloody Mess, the increasingly poor decisions of 4 vampires by Painted Still. If you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing to our channel. If you want to support our content, we have a Patreon, link is in the description.